What do Zlatan Ibrahimovic, an athletic track stopwatch, and a heart rate measurement line have in common? They all have a significant connection to Fartlek. Fartlek? What do we mean in athletics by the term Fartlek? Can you incorporate it into your training or your workout, whether you are a beginner or not? Join me as I explain it in the following video. Let's get started. Where does the term Fartlek come from? Well, the meaning is speed play in Swedish. It's a training system that consists of various exercises, both aerobic and anaerobic, mainly running exercises characterized by pace changes performed at intervals. What is this idea of aerobic and anaerobic exercise? Well, basically we understand aerobic exercise as one in which the energy to run is obtained mainly through breathing, whereas in the case of an anaerobic exercise, that energy comes from what is already stored in the muscles. Then the anaerobic exercise should be shorter than the aerobic exercise. Returning to what interests us in this video, Fartlek. Where does it come from? Where did it originate? Well, it originated in Sweden. It was developed by a Swedish athlete. Not this one, the one I show you, that's Zlatan Ibrahimovic, a well-known football player, but this one. This one is Gösta Holmér. He was born in the 23rd of September 1891 in Stockholm, and he passed away on the 22nd of April 1983. This Swedish athlete especially excelled in the decathlon event, even obtaining the bronze medal at the Stockholm Olympics in 1912. Although perhaps what most defined his sports career was the impact he had and continues to have as a prominent coach. In fact, a very, very good coach. He introduced the idea or the method of Fartlek as an important part of athletic training back in 1930s. What was the goal, the objective of this type of training? What did Gösta Holmér have in mind when he thought about this idea, this new method of training? The idea of Gösta Holmér was for a type of training or a program that could be adapted to the individuality of each athlete. He understood that each of them, each of us, we are different. We have our own specific characteristics. So the training would be according to our own individuality. The idea was that each athlete could take advantage of the things that he has around or he had around in his area, his environment, like rocky terrains or snowy terrains or fallen trees in these forests used as obstacles. Then Fartlek was a bit redesigned. If today ECA, so to speak, of elite marathoners training is said to be at Kaptagat, Kenya, where the best marathoner in history, Eliud Kipchoge, trains, during the 40s, 50s and 60s, the Mecca was in Sweden, in a place located in Vålådalen, a training center in the deep forest or wildest Sweden. There, another coach, Gösta Olander, gave a twist to the training methodology, not forgetting at all what was introduced by Holmér, but adding the coach's supervision of the athlete's progress. How to determine if the intensity of the effort during Fartlek is adequate. Gösta Holmér insisted on the idea that the athlete should finish the session with the feeling of having pushed hard, as we would say today, but with the desire to have added one more set or one more interval. In short, the original idea of Fartlek aimed for the athlete to move by instinct, alternating speeds, intensities, and volumes at their own discretion. Let us talk now about types of Fartlek. How many would you say there are? Well, it could be said that there are between 4 to 6 types of Fartlek, by sensations, by terrains, by heart rate, by running pace, by distance, and by timing. Although, as you may imagine or guess, there are variations in those types of Fartlek. They all share a common structure that involves a warm-up, which includes jogging and joint mobility or activation, intervals or sets, and then a recovery period or cool down. Being a beginner or not, why should you be interested in introducing Fartlek into your workouts? Because it will be an ideal way to improve your speed and endurance or stamina without having to submit yourself to the suffered periods. In fact, it can be considered a fantastic intermediate step between jogging and speed series. How can you incorporate them in your workouts? The recommended frequency is once in a week. For example, if you are just starting to run and you go out 3 days a week and you're able to jog for 30 minutes continuously, you could add Fartlek training on the second day. Well, there are various ways because each athlete has his own individual characteristics. However, here is the proposal. Jog for 15 minutes at your usual pace. Then do 5 1-minute changes of pace. In other words, go 1 minute faster than your usual, but not that fast as you cannot breathe, okay, that you are going beyond your limits. So faster than your usual pace. And then another minute at your normal pace. And then do that for 5 times. Finish by walking 5 minutes so that your heart, your body starts to cool down and to return to normality. In total, this will give you a training session of 30 minutes that will leave you wanting more. If you don't finish with those sensations of wanting more, then adjustments may be needed. If you finish feeling too comfortable, you might need to readjust the intensity of it. Typically, following this recommendation will help you gain more ease, a better understanding of your body and how it works, and will allow you to enjoy running without overexertion or agony. For the latter, for the agony and the overexertion, there is going to be a time. Well, remember, this is just an example. Each plan depends on the individual, their physical build, their athletic background, and their expectations. For more information, feel free to contact me via direct message on my Instagram or via my email account, which I've included in the video description. How can we sum up what we've considered so far? Point number 1, Fartlek concept. Remember that Fartlek involves interval pace changes. Point number 2, its origin. Fartlek was developed in Sweden by the athlete Gösta Holmér in the 1930s. Point number 3, meaning of the word. It means speed play in Swedish. It combines aerobic and anaerobic exercises with pace variations. 4, mythology. The idea is to adapt to the individual athlete, utilizing natural resources like snowy terrain, and natural obstacles. Point number 5, types of Fartlek. There are at least 4 to 6 types, varying by sensations, terrain, heart rate, running pace, distance, and time, all sharing a common structure: warm-up, intervals, and recovery period. Point number 6, benefits of Fartlek. It will help you improve your speed and endurance. As you can see, 3 Fartleks I performed during April. The idea of showing this to you is for you to see that Fartlek works. As you can see, from the 1st to the 3rd Fartlek of April, there is an improvement, not only in the pace, but also in the distance covered, and also in the performance, because I was able to run longer without or with less effort in doing that distance. And the idea of all of them was to finish longing to do more, and I accomplished that goal. This is very important, okay? This Fartlek include 4 kilometers of warm-up, then activation of the joints, and 16 changes or sets of 1 minute and 15 seconds of fast pace and 1 minute of normal pace but a bit higher, so that I keep the body active. Thank you for being here, for reaching to this point of the video. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate that you leave a very good like and you share the video with other runners or with those who are starting out. Remember, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far beyond your limits, go together. I send you a virtual hug, hoping to see you in the next